The lack of accountability that women have when it comes down to the I'm doing the best I can saying. All right. So when a man can't afford something or he can't afford to take care of his child, so on and so forth, he's a broke man. When a woman is in the same situation, she is doing the best she can. No, 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 you're not. Let's really take accountability for our actions here, okay? And I really do want to address this thing. Women who say we have multiple children, that's selfish. You're being selfish. And when I say women who have multiple children, I'm speaking from the standpoint of the ones who can't afford them financially or mentally. Because a lot of us, myself included, we have these children and we don't think beyond just that. Okay, everybody is so, and I'm not saying, having a do whatever it is you feel like you need to do, but we also have to take into account of what we are bringing these children in the world to. All right, because they're being born into poverty. Okay, they're being born into a lot of your trauma. You're going to project your trauma on your child. Okay, because you're not financially stable, you're not in a mental headspace to where you can focus on their well-being and their well-being alone, because you have to worry about where you're going to get the rent money from, how are you going to pay for this, how are you going to pay for that. All right, so that's selfish. And we're going to call a spade a spade. You're being selfish. All right. And when you are in a space to where you can't afford financially to take care of your child, but the father is, and instead of you giving that child or allowing that man to be more present in that child's life, maybe the child goes and live with the dad. You don't want that. You don't want another woman helping you raise your kid, or you don't want to feel less of a woman, or whatever your ideology behind it. But the fact is, women lack accountability when it comes down to the things that we are wrong. When you wrong, you don't want to admit that you're wrong. And I get it. I've been wrong, and I've had to apologize about some stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to. But at the end of the day, when you wrong, you wrong. Okay, and in order for you to do anything right, you need to acknowledge the fact that you're wrong. I grew up thinking that you were supposed to spend food stamps. I'm supposed to get food stamps. Come to find out, no, you not. You ain't supposed to get no food stamps. You supposed to not get food. The goal is to not get food stamps. And by all means, I'm not docking nobody who get food stamps. I want some food stamps. I'll be the first. People who don't get food stamps want food stamps. Okay, but the ideology to think that you are entitled to these things and they're supposed to do this for you is completely wrong. You're seriously misguided. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the normal, that is not what goes on in the normal world. In the normal world, the real world, where people actually work for what they have, that's not what's going on. Okay, so when I say that women lack accountability when it comes down to having multiple children, and then you use the "I'm doing the best I can" saying to justify your behavior, no, because if you're doing the best that you can, you would stop. You would look and assess the situation. Hey, I have 3 kids already. I already can't afford these 3. Anything after that is going to tap me out. Let me stop. Let me get on birth control. Let me use condoms. Let me plan B. Let me figure something else out besides bringing more children into poverty. But no, nobody wants to acknowledge that. Nobody wants to admit that. Everybody wants to sit and act like, oh, well, she can have as many kids as she wants. Why are we not thinking about the kids? Why are we not thinking about the trauma that we're going to project on these children when they get here? Why are we not thinking about that? It's time to stop thinking about ourselves, take accountability for our actions, and then worry about the child. Because there's too many women that's out here that, one, this is a whole different topic, but I'm going to bring this up too. It's too many women that have help from their baby's father and maybe his family and refuse to take the help. So then you raise these children thinking and have them thinking that my mama was always there for me. My mama was always there for me. My mama did everything. Thinking your mama's a strong, independent woman. Whole time she didn't have to be. Whole time y'all didn't have to be struggling over there because your daddy had money. Your grandma had a nice house you could have stayed in. Whole time you had family that was willing to help your mama, but she was so bullheaded and didn't want the help either because she don't like the baby daddy. She wants the baby daddy. He don't want her. They always be. Whatever the issue is, she's putting her personal vendettas, her personal feelings ahead of what the child needs. So whole time you thinking that your daddy just ain't nothing. And your mama had to do everything. My mama was strong, independent. She always had me to stand there, all because that's what your mama wanted you to think. Your mama manipulated you into thinking that that's it. I did this. I did all this. Whole time she getting food stamps, she getting Section 8, she getting child support, she getting all the government assistance that she could possibly get. Let's take all that away. How about we take all that away and see who can sustain their livelihood? Who can sustain their livelihood and their children's livelihood without the government assistance? Because y'all be so quick to call these men who actually trying, not the deadbeat ones, who's actually trying to take care of their kids and do right by their kids. Y'all be so busy giving them a hard time and making their life miserable, but they can financially and mentally provide for these kids. If they take all of the government assistance away from you, can you do the same without the help? And the answer for a lot of women is no.